Hello everyone, it's Misty here. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I have not necessarily an update. I just want to talk. I kind of had a breakthrough yesterday that I want to talk about, and then I want to address some of the comments that you guys have left. Sometimes I get kind of duplicate comments or comments that are kind of similar, and I thought instead of just responding back, I would make a video addressing some of the ones that I've gotten. So if you're new to my channel, the last 14 months have been some of the hardest months of my life. I'll be 46 in April. And at one point I thought 2017 was the hardest year of my life. And my life said, hold my beer. We're going to make 2023 the worst. So in 2023, I had 3 cancer scares: breast, skin, and colon cancer. So I found lumps in my breast. I had a spot on my belly that just popped up out of nowhere that was removed and biopsied. And then my doctor found a polyp in my colon during my colonoscopy. And then I went through all of this genetic testing to find out that I have tested positive for CVID, common variable immunodeficiency, with this pathogenic, and then FSHD, facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy, which is also pathogenic, or whatever you want to call it. So, plus dealing with back pain and neck pain because I have another disease that causes the ligaments in my spinal canal to calcify and kind of cause stenosis and squeeze it on the spinal cord, and then I have rheumatoid arthritis, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot going on. And I dealt with so much shit. I feel like my brain is just shut down. I talked to my therapist today and I told her, I said, I honestly feel like this is a coping mechanism. Like my brain has literally shut down, and it's like I can't take in anything else. We're not going to care about anything, nothing else. Because I mentioned in my last video, I don't care that I don't care. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it is just where I'm at mentally. Now I go Monday the 4th to see if I qualify for Sparato. I can't remember. It's an inhalant mood enhancer thing, and it's supposed to help kind of with my antidepressant, because my psychiatrist is for sure it's working. We just need something else to kind of help it and get it moving. And I was like, okay, I'm willing to try that, because the last few months have just been weird. Again, it just feels like my whole entire brain just shut down. It was just like, we're not inputting anything else. So one of my word for the year for 2024 is self. I wanted to work on self-compassion. So like the way I talk to myself, and setting and managing expectations and those kinds of things, like my physical health. Like I just wanted to work on all these different areas of myself. And I feel like that's been kind of at a standstill. I have been eating whatever the fuck I want to, instead of following a plan that's lower carb. I'll get into that in a couple minutes. Or, just being down on myself because I'm not doing what I should do, etc. So here's my breakthrough. So self-compassion is a verb, right? Self-compassion is a verb because you have to have compassion. So, and again, it just kind of popped into my head. It's like, Missy, this is a verb. Like, this is something that you're going to have to do and be cognizant about. So yesterday, my cat, Roxy, is very needy. She's a very needy cat, and she has the expectation that Mama is going to sit beside her on the couch all day while she sleeps. And so in the morning, I'll spend about an hour sitting with her on the couch, let her get like in that deep, good kitty sleep, and then I'll kind of ease up and go somewhere and do something. Yesterday, I wasn't doing that. I was just saying, I found a new game. I've been playing games on my phone. One of them is called Magic Story, I think. It's a new one. I love it. It's so much fun. It's a merge game, matching story. It's a merge game. There's puzzles, all of it. I just really enjoy it. There's one that's like fashion. Or anyway, I've been enjoying playing games on my phone. And I've never really done that. I've never really, like, I used to play Tetris. I can remember when I was stressed, I would go play my brother's Nintendo and play Tetris, just something to kind of occupy my brain. So as I was sitting on the couch yesterday, I was just thinking to myself, Misty, you've really got to go do something. You can't just sit here on the couch all day. And then I said, why can't I? Like, why can't I? Why can't I sit on the couch? I'm disabled, so I'm not working outside the home. I'm not really working in the house either. Rob was relaxing, watching videos, and I was relaxing on the couch, and it's like, why would I have to get up and go do something? And it just kind of made sense. And it made even more sense today when I was talking to my therapist about it. I said, I feel like this ties back to the worthless thing. So when this all first started, when I very first started losing my mobility and I wasn't able to cook, I could barely take a shower, I was struggling to drive, like all of these things, and it just made me feel worthless. And leaving my job, having to leave my job, was the worst part of it. Because you don't realize, and I've said this before, you don't realize just how much of your identity is tied into what you do. And maybe that's an American thing. Maybe that's not something that you guys deal with in other countries. But for me, it was like, so what do I do now? Like, am I just going to take up space? I felt like I always feel like, I shouldn't say felt because I still feel it. I always feel like that I have to be doing something to prove my worth, to prove that I'm worthy to be here. And that is the mindset I'm going to have to get out of. I feel like that's kind of part of that hustle culture from, or being a boss babe, or, no excuses, blah, 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 blah. All of that kind of toxic, toxicity is just, it's ingrained somehow. You know what I mean? So I sat there and I was like, I'm not going to try to make myself do anything. And after about an hour, I was like, I got the urge to come in here and make a card. So I sat down and filmed a video for my Jolly Fed Off channel and ended up making like 6 cards. And so I just felt. I know that sounds silly, but I've been so apathetic the past several weeks. And again, I think it's just my brain shutting down and I don't care that I don't care. But yesterday, it was like the first time that I really practiced self-compassion with myself. And it just unlocked that desire to actually get up and create. And I was talking to Rob about it and I said, I think it's because it feels like a chore. It feels like a chore, like putting on makeup or coming in here and, playing in my planner or making cards or whatever. It had started feeling like a chore. It was something that I wasn't enjoying. Like I told my therapist, you asked me if there was anything that brought me joy, and I said no. And I said, I still kind of feel that way, but I feel like yesterday was a breakthrough, and it's something that I need to make sure is at the forefront of my mind. I'm disabled. It's okay if I, don't get up, spring up out of bed and get stuff done. It's okay. Like I don't want to give myself, permission to be sloth, just sit around all day, every day. But I want to be able to give myself permission to not worry about getting something done just to prove my worth. And I think going through the grieving process again, like all of this new stuff with the CVID and the FSHD and the OBLL and RAF, all the letter diseases. All of this has just kind of activated that grieving process again because I'm going through all over again. And it's been really difficult. And on top of everything else that happened last year, it's just been unreal. And like I told my therapist today, I was like, I knew that January 1st wasn't going to be like this magic key. And January 1st was the worst day I've had in forever. I mean, like I could not move without being in excruciating pain and ended up at the ER because of that excruciating pain. So January 1st was awful, and that's kind of set the tone for 2024. And I hate that because 2023 was so fucking hard. I don't want a repeat. I don't want a repeat. So, one thing I've talked about before is Rob. When we were very first dating and kind of first started living together, he was staying with me in Oklahoma City. He was like, if you'll cook, I'll do everything else. He's like, I'll do the laundry, I'll do the cleaning, if you'll just cook, because I can't cook and I'll take care of the rest. And that's been our relationship the whole entire time we've been together. Are we on year 15? 14? What year is this? Lord. April 3rd will be 15 years. Holy shit. So anyway, it's been that way our entire relationship. He takes care of everything. I think a lot of it, he's not type A, but a lot of it is he wants things a specific way. He's not one for clutter. He's not one for mess. So I'm like, this is my room. I can be as messy as I want to. But with me, like this weekend, I made hamburger helper. Number one, he wouldn't eat that. He wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But like we ended up having pie and ice cream and all of these things that we shouldn't be eating. And yes, he's an adult and he can make his own choices. But I feel like if I were to get back on track, he will get back on track too. And if I'm cooking and doing well for myself, then that will, translate, what is the word I'm looking for, to him. So, because he could stand to lose a few pounds. He's gained about 20 pounds from all of this. And it's no wonder. I mean, he's probably just as stressed as I am, or even more stressed. Because he doesn't feel the need to talk to anybody about it. But anyway, that's on him. So, I told him last week that I will reset and recommit to a healthier eating plan and stop indulging in donuts and pie and carbs and all of the things. And what's crazy is we probably had donuts, I don't know, once a week for the last 3 months. Before that, we had donuts maybe twice in our whole entire relationship. I'm not one that likes donuts. I'm not one that really craves sweets. But I don't know, it's just been something about that donut place, and it's literally like 2 blocks away, and you'll just go down there and get me some donut holes. But yeah, so it's just been, I haven't cared. Again, I haven't cared. And I think it's just one more thing that my brain's just like, I'm not interested in. So while I'm not interested in it for me, I want him to be healthier. I want him to eat healthier. I want him to not, he's going to be 60. He's going to be 60 this month, March, I guess. And I need to make sure that I am, cooking him nutritious meals, and we can get his weight down, we can get my weight down, etc. So I'm recommitting. We'll probably start this weekend once he goes grocery shopping again. I had a hamburger helper. I guess I really needed something like reminiscent of my grandmother, so I had him buy me minute rice. It's going to sound gross to some of you, but growing up, my grandmother would have minute rice with bacon and bacon grease in it. And it's so fucking good. It's so good. So I had him buy me the smallest minute rice box, and I've eaten it once since the other day. So I told him I'm going to, just finish it over the next few days and then just be done. So yeah, recommitting. I don't know how that's going to look like. I think it's going to probably just be low carb for a while, like just trying to eat as low carb as possible, trying to get back to eating intuitively, where I'm just listening to my body and eating when I'm hungry and not when I'm not. I'm actually fasting today. I'm filming this on Tuesday at 1:30. I had therapy at 9, blood draw at 11, and I see my urologist at 4. And if you've been with me for any time, you know that I never know when Wegovy is going to strike. So if I don't eat, that kind of takes away, some of the ability to wreak havoc on my intestines or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. Someone asked if I'm still taking Wegovy. Yeah, I still am. The issue is it doesn't, it'll change what something tastes like or make me not want something, but it doesn't stop, you from eating bad food. You know what I mean? So yeah, so let's talk about some comments. Most of these are fine. I didn't pull anything that was real bitchy, but I just wanted to address a few things. So let me get my glasses on. I'm going to go see the urologist, but I put on makeup to film this video and to film a different video. Good times. Okay. So the first one's from Glam Moms. It says 5 to 6K might sound expensive, but look at all the cost you're accruing now. You'll end up spending more going all these other tests and on other medication. So this is in reference to me talking about the Mayo Clinic and just how stupid expensive it'll be to go. I get asked every single video if I've considered the Mayo Clinic. And yeah, I actually had an appointment 2019. Yeah, I think it was February 2019. And they give you a 6-month window or 4-month window, 3-month, I don't remember. But anyway, we weren't able to go because Rob was in the middle of busy season. And from the middle of February through June, it's impossible for him to take time off. Because he'll work 70 hours a week. And so it's busy season and we know that and we kind of plan around that. We pay a lot for health insurance. We've got the top tier with United Health called Choice Plus. And we did that because, I knew that I needed to be able to go to specialists, etc., without a referral if I needed to. It's also, we have a lower deductible. So our each individual deductible is $600. Once we pay $600, we hit 10%. And after $3,000, then we no longer pay anything. And we have a flexible spending account that basically covers all of that. So we're getting that money back. So I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Someone else had a comment and I'm going to reach out to you to see if you can kind of share. If you're someone who's been to the Mayo Clinic and you did not live in Minnesota, could you please reach out to me and tell me what you did for lodging, how long you did end up having to stay, what it was like, etc. Because I would really, really, really like to know. I would really, really, really like to know. So maybe I can plan for it. But my fingers are crossed that Dr. Jones has answers and we can just go that way. And I won't have to even worry about going to the Mayo Clinic. I honestly believe with my full chest that this is muscular dystrophy. The issues I'm dealing with are muscular dystrophy. And while I don't have the most severe symptoms of this type of muscular dystrophy, I am experiencing symptoms and have been for my entirety of my life. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's why it's just, just trying to figure out how to do that. We just had to buy new tires and I had to pay our escrow shortage, which was $1,200. Thank goodness we got a refund on our taxes because I paid for that. I told him, I was we're going to start an envelope for our electric bill because our electric bill is double what we normally pay in the summer. So there's a lot of, and we're basically single income families. So it's hard to really kind of put that money aside right now when our emergency fund is empty. We're trying to catch up from our electric bill from last year. So, it's kind of playing with our budget and seeing what we can do. And I've thought about, I don't really want to do crowdfunding. I would really much rather sell cards or card kits or something. I would rather sell something than just ask for money. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. The next one's from Melanie. She's I've watched you for years. I think you are overacting with this one. Maybe the emergency was a patient in the office that she was dealing with, or she came in after your appointment had started. You jumped to conclusions because you dislike the PA and you're making a big deal out of nothing. I halfway agree with that. I talked to my therapist today, and she was like, I would be upset too. And the whole, like I told her, I said, the PA misspoke when she said she was going to go talk to the doctor rather than call her. And then the graduate student looked at me with like this deer in the headlights look, wondering if I caught something. So if that hadn't happened, then I feel like it wouldn't even have crossed my mind. But the minute that happened, I was like, please don't tell me that she's actually here. And then seeing her and her not even bothering to say hi, I think it was just all of it together. So, and she was supposed to reach out last week and she didn't. So my goal today is to send an email, reach out through the portal. I want to know about the SED rate, why that's suddenly normal, and what I can continue, what did I do, and what can I continue to do to make that happen. And then we really need to talk about the immunologist, because if I'm going to go off this medication, it has to start now, because I cannot be without this medication come September, October. I will probably crumple up and just die in a ball or something, because yeah. And the issue is it didn't work this time. Like the Symphony Aria did not. Normally it's 2 or 3 days and I feel it, and I haven't felt it at all. I'm still very swollen. I'm still dealing with the stuff in my back. So I don't know, but yeah, I do feel like I overreacted a little bit, but I feel like it was warranted at the time. I'm over it. I'm going to reach out to her. Now, if I don't see her in April, I'm going to walk out. I'm going to be done because I'm not seeing a PA 3 times in a row, and I'm not paying full price. It's not fair that they bill for full price when I see a PA. And again, I wish she was a bit more assertive. I wish it almost feels like and I don't know how physician assistant school goes. I don't know if you specialize or whatever, but it just feels like, RA, etc., is not something that she's really familiar with. And I could be completely wrong, but every time I've seen her, it's just been, yeah. And then the gaslighting is what really set me off with her. Well, I'm sure it's nothing. It's probably nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. It's like, you haven't even examined me. You haven't even looked at me. So yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where that started from. But yeah, I kind of agree that I did overact a little bit. That's why I filmed that video. Kate said test for lupus maybe. Face flushing across the cheeks is a symptom. Other than that, check your blood sugar when it happens. Could it also be reactive hyperglycemia? Thank you for that. I'm going to start trying to pay attention to see if it happens after I eat. I honestly don't think it does, because it is really so flippin' random. Like one time it was when I was in bed at night, and we had probably eaten 3 or 4 hours ahead of that. So I will definitely start documenting that and seeing when I have a symptom. Is it full face? Is it half a face? And again, those tests from the immunologist were markers for lupus and MS. And the PA was like, we have our own test for lupus. I don't think they ran it. I wish they would have. Maybe they already have in the past. I don't know. But, yeah. And she says she loves strawberry shortcake. This shirt said Torrid. They also have some really cute Care Bear ones. They had a Smurf one. I was like, oh, I really want that. But I'm not going to allow myself to buy any clothes until I lose some fucking weight. Happy and Stuff said, I hit the I don't care that I don't care phase at the beginning of menopause about 8-9 years ago. Got so bad that I had to stop myself at one point and check in with myself about whether I wanted to ever start caring again or not. Took me over 5 years to answer that question. During that time, I just did what I absolutely had to do and not much more. I watched the entire series of The Office a few times to get me through the darkest times. There's hope. First of all, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Like, I would not wish something like this on my worst enemy. And I told my therapist, I was like, there was a time when I thought, do I need to be admitted somewhere? Like, what's going on? I was like, but I don't feel like I need more therapy. I feel like this has just been a coping mechanism, and my brain just needs a break. It just needs a break, and my mood needs a little boost. So hopefully the Sparato will do that. Like I said, I go Monday, whenever the 4th is, to kind of see if I qualify so we can, get that started. So yeah, and then I don't know if you guys have watched it's called Quarterback. It's like an 8-show documentary on Netflix. It's about Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and what's his name? Marcus Mariota. So in like the 4th or 5th episode, it's focused on Kirk Cousins, and he's doing all of these things to his brain. And one of them that he was talking about, he was training his brain. And he was sitting in his car, vehicle, whatever, and he had something on his head, and he was watching a video, and he said, every time that it turns black, that's retraining my brain to do something. And I couldn't really understand it. I don't know what he was talking about, but I was talking about it with my therapist today. She's like, I'll check. I said, because I would be willing to do something like that if we needed to. Like, whatever I need to do to kind of just jumpstart my brain and get us back on track and just get me out of this. And I know, like I told her, I was like, I don't even feel like this is a funk. I feel like this, a funk is something that I know it's going to end. It's like this doesn't feel like it's going to end. This just, I don't know what this is. Like I said, this is the worst it's ever been. Ever. And like I said, I really feel like it's just, my brain is shut down because we just dealt with so much in 2023. Like there's just so much trauma that happened in 2023, and not even big trauma. Like thinking I had breast cancer, that was terrifying. Thinking that this, like, where did this spot come from? And, is it going to be cancer? And all of the other stuff, and just all of it. It was just a lot. So yeah, I'm so sorry. And if you're someone who is also going through that, I encourage you to seek out a therapist. I encourage you, to just give yourself grace. Practice that self-compassion, because at the end of the day, making things harder on yourself is not going to help at all. So yeah. Nancy Jackson said, I can only imagine your frustration, but are you shopping for a neurologist that says what you want? 5 of them should know something, shouldn't they? 95% is not 100, but I agree they should keep fighting to find the answer. I'm actually not. Okay, so maybe I am shopping for a neurologist to tell me what I want, but it's to tell me something other than I don't know. It's to tell me something other than the wrong diagnosis. So the first neurologist misdiagnosed me, and then it's like, it's just chronic fatigue. The second one said it's not neuromuscular, it's not even neurological, and it's probably rare and we don't deal with rare diseases. The third one said, when I asked for genetic testing and asked for muscle biopsy, asked for all this tests, he's like, I wouldn't even know what to test for. And this last one was like, they're good neurologists, I don't know. So out of the 4 that I have seen, I've basically been told the wrong thing 4 different times. Well, minus this last one. So I'm not shopping a neurologist to just hear what I want to hear. I'm shopping a neurologist that will say something other than I don't know. Like that's what I'm shopping for. I want a doctor that will say something other than I don't know. And if they don't know, then what can we do? Like, what other tests can we do? Like, what other things can we do? Like, I am willing to do anything except for another nerve conduction study. I've said that 150 times now. I am willing to put in the work to get the answers so we can put this to bed, because I'm tired. But like I said earlier, and like I told my regular doctors, like, I honestly feel like the FSHD is the answer. I feel like, and if that doesn't come back from Dr. Jones, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Probably cry and just, I don't know. But I just feel like it fits. I feel like the genetic counselor hit the nail on the head. And I'm really just going through this to shut the doctor up. And to be able to go to a different neurologist and be like, look, listen, there's been two genetic tests now that show that I have it. And she left another comment about, or the 95% is not 100. On the MDA website, it says if 4 of the chromosomes are affected, whatever, and so I have that. 4 of my chromosomes have been affected. Like, everything that it says on the MDA website about being diagnosed, etc., I have. So I don't have the most severe symptoms, but that doesn't mean that I don't have it and that I'm not asymptomatic. And her whole, well, you're not even weak. She's lucky I'd already shut down, or I probably would have scream bloody murder. So yeah, not necessarily shopping to hear what I want, unless what I want is an answer. It's like, okay, that's not, you don't think that's what it is? Then what is it? Let's find out what it is. Let's find out what it is. Again, I'm willing to do whatever. I'm willing to get off RA medication, which is basically an immunosuppressant, which will mean that my RA will be out of control for 5 to 6 months. Who knows if I'll be able to get it back under control. It'll be just a 6-month flare. I'm willing to go through that if the information is life-changing. And I don't know that because I haven't heard back from my RA, my rheumatologist. Connie's routines are so important. She retired 2 years ago because of Lyme disease. I'm so sorry. And a teacher, I can't even imagine if I'd continued teaching. I knew I would need to create new routines to prevent myself from sitting in front of the TV computer all day. I'm human and some days go better than others, but overall my routines help. Hopefully they will help you too. I have not done any kind of routines. I haven't. Other than getting up and saying with my cat. This is how my mornings go. Mine is this morning. If it's a shower day, today was a shower day. So I got up, took a shower, then sat on the couch with Roxy for a little bit, and then I had therapy. And then I sat on the couch with her for a little bit, and then we went and got my blood drawn. And then I came in here, put on makeup, filming a couple of videos, and that's kind of how my day has gone. Normally, I get up, make a coffee, sit on the couch with Roxy, and listen to Get Up. It's a show on ESPN. My husband has turned me into a football wife. And I listen to that and then play a little bit of games on my phone. Then I get up and do something for the most part. Some days I do, some days I don't. So that's kind of where we are as far as routines, but it's something that I really need to get back into the habit too. And I did a couple of days where I did my skincare and did my body care and was doing the thing, and I just stopped. Again, I just don't care. And that's detrimental to me. It's detrimental to everything. So that I really need to do that. My brain doesn't want to. And then Sherry said, thank you for the update. When I think of a word for you, persevere comes to mind because you are pushing through. Persevere, continue in a course of action, even in the face of difficulty or with little or no prospect of success. You are steadfast, which is the action or condition or an instance of persevering. Praying for you. Stay strong. I think, wasn't persevere one of my word of the years a few years ago? I honestly can't remember, but thank you so much for that. It's funny because my therapist uses the word resilient, and I've said many times, I don't want to be resilient anymore. And she's like, I know you don't want to be resilient anymore, but I'm just going to say, that I'm in awe of just how resilient you are. And it's like, it's not that I don't want to be resilient. It's like, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. My brain is tired. I am tired. It's just been a lot, and I'm just done. Like I feel like this has been a coping mechanism, and my body's just like, we're done for a little bit. My brain's like, we're not taking nothing else in. Let's just keep it status quo for a little bit, and then maybe hopefully, that mood booster will help. But yeah, I just the alternative is scary. You know what I mean? Like, the alternative is scary. Like, to live in this much pain, or to live in with this many symptoms and all of this without any help whatsoever is really daunting. I will say that I asked for a referral to a neurosurgeon, and that has already happened. They called me the very next day, and I have an appointment set up with him next week. I haven't had my appointment with 2nd.MD. There was some kind of mix-up when they were like, have you seen your neurosurgeon? I'm like, no, I'm not seeing him this year. I haven't seen him, been in the office since December 2022. So I don't know if that will happen before or after this appointment. I'm still waiting for the test results from Dr. Jones for the FSHD stuff. I really would hope to have that so I could take it to this new neurosurgeon because I had one neurosurgeon that opened me up and was like, we can't do anything else because I'm worried about structure of the spine. We have another orthopedic surgeon who was like, no, let's just open you up and get it done. And it's like, okay, but this is my spine and I only get one, And I would rather not become quadriplegic. So could we please decide on like what is the right thing to do? So dependent upon what this neurosurgeon says, that might be what I take. I don't know. And also I told my pain management doctor, I said, I don't want to continue having little surgeries every 3 or 4 years. It'll be 5 years in October. I said, if I'm going to eventually need a fusion, let's fuse it. Let's do it now. Either we do it now or we wait. But I don't want to be opened up 3, 4, 5, 6 times. One and done, please. And I know that there's no guarantee that a fusion would help with the pain. But at this point, my lower back is so fucked. It just needs some help. And like where I've been hurting lately is not even in that area. I've been hurting between my shoulder blades. And it has been like Roxy jumped on my chest the other day and I thought I was going to cry. And Rob's like, was it your chest? I was like, no, it's my back. I said, but it's just so painful. Even now, like just doing that right there with my shoulders, it's damn near impossible. It just feels awful. But I told my pain management, I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do a rhizotomy or anything until I talk to a neurosurgeon and see what they think. So we'll see what he has to say next week. But yeah. So April said, pain is so overwhelming in all areas, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You were rarely in a dark spot before the ER. You are more yourself today. I think you are amazing the way you keep pushing forward. I learned so much about finding resources and being real with yourself. Just know how special you are. Thank you so much. A lot of times I'm like, why are you telling everybody all of this? It's to help. It's to help. You know, it's maybe somebody else is going through something similar and I've had several people say that, like, oh, I'm experiencing that too. I'm going to talk to my doctor about that. Or, you know, someone said, hey, because you mentioned that you kept pushing and you were gaslit, I found a new doctor. So I'm sharing this as kind of like an outlet, but also to hopefully not only give hope, but also kind of, share my story working with doctors, etc. Because number one, it's a whole different universe here in the US. Number two, it's a whole different universe when you're fat. Like trying to get good healthcare and being fat is like damn near impossible. And that's why I'm trying to surround myself with doctors who don't give a shit and who know that, just my weight isn't why I have RA. My weight isn't why, I have all this genetic stuff. It's because it's genetic. It's because it's going to happen. So, you can't blame weight on everything. It's like you can't just diagnose everyone with fibro because not everybody has fibro. And when you give it such a flippant diagnosis like that, it just, I don't know. I have a whole thought process on that and we can talk about that later if you want to. So yeah. Was that the last comment? Yeah, that was the last comment. So thank you very much for those of you who've leave comments. I read every single one of them. I haven't responded to anything. I don't even think I responded to comments on my other channels. I read every comment and I appreciate every single one of you who's left them. And I appreciate every single one of you who have been here since March of 2017. I see your names and I recognize them and I just appreciate you so very much. This has been a really difficult journey. This has been, like I said, this past year has probably been some of the worst of my life. I've gone through so much and just keep pushing through because the alternative, I'm not ready for the alternative. You know what I mean? Maybe someday I will be, but I'm not today. I'm not today. I just want to feel better. That's what it boils down to. I mean, like I said, I'm willing to sacrifice if it means getting an answer, a final answer. Stamp it. That's your final answer. So yeah. Hopefully this video made a little bit of sense. The other day I was doing a voiceover for a card I made and I could not remember paper piecing, which is basically where you stamp and then you cut it out and you put it on. Anyway, it's a whole thing. But in that day I'd used the word conundrum, parse, and there was one more other word. I call them $10 Scrabble words. I looked at Rob, I was like, how could I forget paper piecing, but I've used these 3 $10 Scrabble words this day. It's like, my brain is just broken. It's so broken. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where my head is. That's where my head is, and that's what's going on. Like I said, I don't know that I'm going to do keto or carnivore just yet. I feel like I got to ease back into this. Plus my body's been craving apples. I've been eating a pink lady apple every day. That's not low carb. But yeah. So anyway, appreciate you very, very much. I don't know if I'm going to vlog. You guys will have to let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I will keep you updated on what happens with the rheumatologist. I went today. I had to give urine and I gave blood for the immunologist. So we'll see. The tests she has are all for cancer. Myeloma? Is that the word? I don't know. Anyway, so, but also for other kind of like diseases. So fingers crossed that all of that comes back fine. Because no thank you. I do not want cancer. No one wants cancer. So yeah, no more cancer scares, please and thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go and get everything edited, get everything uploaded, and get ready to go see the urologist I wait in the office for an hour and a half, and then I see him for 5 flipping minutes. I need to find someone new, but I see him twice a year. 3 months this time because I started a new bladder medicine that I hate. It works too well. Like, I do not have the sensation to go to the bathroom until my bladder is at its fullest, and that is very painful. So yeah, we'll see what he has to say. And I am in shorts and a t-shirt because it's been in the 80s. 90, we were supposed to hit 90 yesterday. It's like, can we just please have just a little taste of spring before we jump into summer? Jesus, Mary, Josephina. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. And I can't believe it's the end of February. I will weigh in for March. I'm probably up, if I had to guess. We'll see. I don't know. But recommitting to eating better and just, trying to be a better wife for my husband.